Hello, everybody, and welcome to the official TAF podcast. So today we are joined
Yes,
with the one and only,
Diagon, who
yes.
is the co-host, or is
Well,
we are
we're
both
both, yeah,
hosts.
we're both the host.
Yes,
Okay, so my background is orange for some reason. Don't ask why, because I can't answer your question. I have no idea. It's just like
yes.
that.
I should probably pause my Steam download. All right.
Maybe your internet might crash in the middle of this if you don't.
Yes.
So, how many times have we thought of doing a podcast exactly?
Oh, hundreds. Like we used to talk about all the, or I used to talk about all the time. Then you declined until a few weeks ago. You said at night times like is good.
Well, we're finally at a good time, so
Yeah.
hopefully we
See,
have more good times.
it's 11 p.m. my time.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
only
we
decent time.
Oh yeah, because it's quiet and like no one. I mean, except for my mom's home. You know.
Essentially,
So
we shouldn't have any background noise, shouldn't have any distractions, shouldn't have anything that should make us leave. We should just be able to sit here for an hour and not be disturbed, alright?
yeah. Well, it
Or
can't be
about
exactly
an
a
hour.
hour. Yeah, about a hour. But yeah.
Anyways,
So, how are you feeling about this podcast, Spencer?
I'm feeling pretty good, you?
Ah, yeah, I'm feeling good. A bit nervous because first podcast ever. You know.
Well,
Um,
it's not the first conversation ever. It's literally just kind of having a conversation about stuff
that's
and
true.
giving
But we,
opinions.
yeah, like okay, like I had so many ideas what we can talk about, but like the second we start, I just forget them all.
That's normal.
Yeah. I just saw a tweet saying feeding animals sugar makes them diabetic. Like,
Oh, okay then. Um,
I'm just looking on Twitter and Tim Hortons is trending,
it is?
and that was the first tweet I saw.
Interesting. So, let's see here.
We were supposed to make a list, but instead we played GTA.
Well, GTA was fun, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. We got chased by cops. I ran a kid over on the bike.
You
Um,
got kicked.
I got kicked. And we also played some ERLC. We got banned from a few servers. I mean, not my fault.
It wasn't
I
our
only
fault. We were just, playing the game. I guess we're just not meant to be there anymore. So it's
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, but we were being so respectful, so humble.
I
That
mean,
we
we
only
were. We were
killed.
following all the rules. We were even helping the admins out.
Oh yeah, you know, like we're helping the admins, and apparently shooting admins over and over again is against the rules. Like,
Well, see, now you're getting
geez,
into too much detail, okay? Um,
okay, and I'll be quiet, okay.
the 12-year-old mod that just got his first laptop from school he really liked his power. That's all.
I thought
That's all I have to
you
say
were
about
gonna,
that.
gonna say something else.
What?
When you said when the 12-year-old first got his, I thought you were gonna say something else.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. It's 11 p.m.
So, they haven't seen us much, especially me, right?
Oh yeah,
YouTube
like
and Twitch haven't, especially YouTube hasn't seen me for about a year. Okay,
yeah, I've been wanting to get back into streaming, but I just haven't.
we don't have
You
anything to
know,
stream. We're
fun.
trying to fix that. We don't really
Oh
have
yeah,
anything to stream, but we are
I
trying to
mean
fix it.
we could do Minecraft, but
We're
like,
we're working on a big list of things that we can do.
oh
But
yeah,
should we just recap what we've done in the past year, kind of?
oh yeah, sure. Like the list is like probably not in double digits.
Oh, we did a lot in the past year, honestly, which is why we didn't really, make much of content because we've been busy with a lot of other things.
What did we do in the past year?
Well, there was the one thing, and then there was that other thing, and then there was the last thing. I mean, it was a lot, right?
Ah, I did. I don't know. honestly, I'd say over the past year, we kind of stopped talking a bit, you know?
Yeah, we kind of did other things.
Yeah, we kind of, for a while, we kind of went our separate ways. I'll say last summer I kind of was not in a good position, you know? And I regret some stuff last year, you know? Um, but yeah, but we are, you know, now, I guess, reunited, you know, we are better than ever.
Yeah,
I'm bad at
that's one way of
talking.
putting it. No,
Yes, I'm
no, that
bad
is
at
one way
talk.
of putting it.
Yeah.
It's a good way of putting it.
Um, yeah, so we kind of went our separate ways for a while, and we kind of like reconnected. Um, but yeah, I'm glad that we did kind of reconnect, you know.
Yeah.
It I think for me it was kind of like being inside for like 2 years just,
Well,
you know,
that kind of, you know, kind of did happen.
yeah, being inside for 2 years doesn't isn't really
See, for most
mentally.
people, the first part of, like, the first, like, 2 to 3 months of people were too much, right? But the difference for us is we had a huge list of things to do in the beginning. So the beginning of quarantine was fun for us for about like 6 months, I'd have to say.
Well, it started in March. Well, let's say April because it mid-March. So yeah,
It lasted. It was pretty fun for a long time.
I'd say it lasted until like maybe November.
Yeah, that'd be what, 6, 7 months.
Yeah. Honestly, those were probably the best 7 months, you know, really that I've had. I'd say those months were very fun, and I have to thank you for that, Spencer, you know. Um,
Well, it was both of us, so
yeah.
yeah,
You know, like I do look back at those times and do miss them. I will generally say that.
yeah,
Um,
I do as well. There was, I don't know, it was just, I don't know, just time where we could sit down and just play games. I mean, almost every child's dream, just to not really have to do much school. Because honestly, the schools in the beginning of the year kind of like shoved a lot out as a normal year for okay. I think for me, for a few weeks, the school kind of shoved out like a normal year, and then they kind of realized, well, that's not working, so they kind of just laid back a little bit.
I remember like my school gave nothing out for the first 3 weeks. Then they just gave out just one math question a day. Then I did it. Took me about 10 minutes, and I watched live PD because I was bored, and I submitted it, and that was my whole day.
Yeah,
They
after school, I did a lot of things, like
Yeah, but that was elementary school. High school was kind of the same, but oh my God, Mike. Okay, so I had a computer class. Jesus, she did not stop talking about bees. She kept on talking about bumblebees.
your
And I'm like,
computer class.
yes, in a computer class. She was like, the bumblebees. And
So,
I was like,
you think this lady should have been a science teacher instead?
yeah, probably, you know. But like the class wasn't that bad. You know, I mean, I got 85 in it, so I'm not complaining about. Well, actually, I am complaining about it. Um, but you know, like then, oh, and I also did gym class online. The best thing ever. I just said I did the workouts, and that was my day.
I didn't do anything for gym class because it was exactly that. It was a Google form of what you did. Because I remember when it was fully online, you weren't, no class, I think, but my science class made you have your camera on. So it was pretty easy to say you did anything. So for gym, just filled out the Google form. Yeah, I did that. I did 100 laps around the house in 2 seconds. No, I didn't go that unrealistic, but you could just say you did something for the day, and they would be like, okay, give you credit. And then
Yeah.
when they did hybrid, where it was you could go in for a couple days, I never did. I stayed home. Um, they would just go on the Google Meet, say what to do, and then mute and shut the camera off for like the class for 48 minutes. They or what? No, they weren't 48 minutes in distance learning. They're like 35 minutes, something like that. 30 minutes. So they just kind of set it to do, muted for 20 minutes. You filled out the Google form, said you did it. There was one time where they wanted you to do, I think it was like push-ups on your camera or something.
Oh my god.
At the end of the year was the last day, but I had my COVID shot the day before, so I just said no. I had that. It really, I don't feel good from it. And she said, okay, well, you can. It was like, I think this was a Tuesday, and she's like, well, my email's gonna be open till Friday, so if you feel okay. I didn't email her ever again.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
Like I okay, okay, and I remember like when I got my shot, it was like the last day of school, and I was like, come on, those now no excuse to not be in school.
Yeah. Mine was the day before the last day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So the school year for me ended about not even 2 weeks ago. I
That's kind
thought
of
it
funny
was.
because mine ended a month and 2 days ago. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you text me being like school has ended for me, and I was like, I still have like 3 weeks left. Then you were like L, which is funny. Um, look, honestly, school wasn't that bad, and I had English class, which wasn't that bad. I had science, which our teacher was like the most chillest person. Then I had computer class. I I don't want to talk about that. That class gave me radiation poisoning.
didn't
Um,
didn't you have another class?
yeah, and drama class, which wasn't bad, but people in it was interesting. Let's just say people did a few symbols.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
um, people can assume it was from the early 40s.
Um,
Yeah,
Around here, drama class is where all of the kind of other kids, usually the kids that you don't usually notice that are in the background or um are very emo, right? We'll have to talk about that. Um,
emo kid.
we'll we'll have to bring up that later. But all those kids would go to drama here, so
Put that
that
in the notes,
drama was
emo
like
kids.
the place to just not go by. You just avoided it all costs, and you could live your life normal. If you didn't, then well, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't really run into emo kids at my school.
Dude, there's so many here,
Okay, there are
especially the
many.
younger ones. Not so many like where I'm at and up, but like down below. It, whew, oh man.
Okay, because I'm in. Okay, I'm in like late high school now, basically. So like there's not that many real of what I've seen. I mean, I've walked by people who look emo, but you can't assume. Actually, you can.
Oh yeah, no, no, no. Black hair, black makeup, covered eyes,
Yeah.
choker around them. You know, yeah, black clothing. Yeah, no,
You
you
know,
definitely can't tell.
okay, when I went to Canada's Wonderland, I saw exactly that description.
Dude, they all look the same.
I know. And,
Like they're
and,
just
and,
a
and there
one
were
big
two
group.
of them that had the collars around them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like okay, be emo if you want, but just don't bother me. Please don't.
Yeah.
You know.
And
No.
they also get. I noticed that they usually get really offended by things really easily.
Oh yeah. Like I could pick up a pencil and they would be like, "Oh,
You're harming that pencil.
you're harming that pencil. That pencil did 0.0000000 harm to the environment."
No, it's definitely not made out of a tree. I mean, come on now.
Oh no, or graphite.
Yeah, or none of that. And should we talk about the history of pencils when they were actual lead
Oh yeah, that
and
was much
harmed a
worse.
lot of people? We won't talk about that.
Oh nah, we don't talk about
So
that.
that
We don't.
pencil did a lot more harm than you think.
We don't talk about how glue was made of horses. You know, we don't talk about
What?
that. Yeah,
Now that
glue
I
was made
didn't
of.
know.
I'm pretty sure it was
Hmm.
glue made out of horses. Yeah, glue was made from horse hooves and bones.
Interesting.
Yeah, and some people used to eat it in class.
Oh, that's still a thing. I
Yeah.
think it's more of a thing now, just as a meme, or because
Oh
they
yeah.
think it's funny. Like, hey, I'm gonna kill myself with this glue, and they somehow get friends by doing that. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna get lead poison.
The world is honestly a pretty weird place for. I mean, just in general, but also just for kids.
Oh
Like,
yeah, okay.
elementary and early middle school kids. They're kind of like.
Stupid. Like
That's
you
one way
can't.
of putting it.
Like literally, like people. Okay, like vape. Vape is a big thing around here. Is it a big thing around you?
It is. I mean, I remember sitting on the bus one day and you look to your right and there's someone sitting there vaping.
I don't understand people who vape. It's like, what are you getting out of it? You don't look cool. You kind of look stupid. You
Well,
know.
I think a big part of it, I think, is kind of blending in with your friends. But I know some people that legitimately don't have friends that do it.
Uh, yeah, they probably. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I was. Um, yeah, I was gonna say like of how like it probably makes them feel, I guess, included.
Yeah, but I'm sure some people do it as a drug. It
Like
makes you feel a certain way. Nicotine. I don't think there is there nicotine in vapes. I
a
don't really
little
think so.
bit in it.
Okay,
Like
so
I told people about it, and they said there was not that much Nick in it. Like Nick is only the addictive thing. Like there was. Okay, do you know who Andrew Tate is?
I do not.
He had a perfect video about it. Um, don't look up Andrew Tate. He's not a good example. But like he said, like those 40 chemicals that you have never heard of, cheaply made in China, which is true. That you buy the pod for $1 and breathe it deep into your lungs, and you are surprised when it's hot, when it's harmful to you.
Yeah,
You
I mean
know.
that is true.
Yeah, I've seen videos of where people have vape for years, then they are surprised when they get the lung cancer.
Like, wait, it's not a cigarette though.
Yeah.
It's not a drug.
It's not a drug. It's only worse than cigarettes,
Yeah,
you know.
you know.
Okay, like even smoking's bad, but like it's not gonna kill you when you're young. Like I still don't advise people to smoke, but you know,
I mean,
vaping is worse.
should we talk about how people say vaping isn't a drug, yet to the definition of a drug, it is
Yeah, it is, you
a
know.
medicine or other substance which has an effect with when ingested or otherwise introduced into the body.
Yeah.
So, a vape it has an effect when you bring it into your body.
Yeah.
And usually it's kind of I think it's honestly kind of meant I haven't really done a lot of research on it. So I'm just kind of speaking of what I heard. Um but I think it's kind of there to release stress, which is why a lot of people smoke. But that's why it was kind of made, and now it's turned into more than that. It's just turned into people trying to
Look cool.
be cool, yeah, whatever that even means anymore.
Well, the thing is, like, as someone who has never done drugs, I think it looks pathetic when
Yeah,
people
I can
just
agree.
vape. yeah, because it's like, especially, okay, I like of how like in a graduation a few days ago that I went to, the my principal was like, if you feel the need to vape, just go outside. And and oh, why don't you just say don't vape while you're here, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, why not like put effort into stopping it instead
yeah,
of just saying, well, if you need to do it, go outside. Yet they don't need to do it.
yeah. And another thing, I've gone into the bathroom and seen people like vape. Like it's just like why? And oh yeah, I don't know if I told you this, but one day our school was put into hold and secure, you know. So I was kind of like, huh, okay, there's been lots of bad things happening around school recently, so maybe this is what happening. Turns out there was a bathroom party with about 40 people in the washroom. Um,
40?
s- yeah, and someone overdosed, apparently. And that's why we were on hold and secure, because the ambulance had to come. But I don't know if it's true, you know? Um,
Hmm. I
but
don't know
yeah,
about your school because I've never seen it, but my school has fairly small bathrooms. So I didn't even know. I mean, if you really try, you probably could fit 40 people in there.
mine are, I don't really go into the washrooms, but it's a decent size, you
Although
know?
our school is kind of like a little bit of a mix of old and new and this person's idea and that person's idea. It's almost like six different builder teams put this school together.
Yeah,
So
wait,
it's
but
it's different in every section you go.
doesn't your school only have like two grades in it?
No, it's actually a mix of the middle school and high school.
Oh, I see. So you have six grades in it.
Yes.
Mine only has four.
But you also go, don't you go straight from elementary school to high school?
Yeah, elementary school to high school, yeah.
So that's, yeah, that's kind of the difference. They used to be split a long time ago, but now they're put together. So that might be part of why it's different. Is like this part's different because of this and that part's different because of that. But it's also like it's just a mix everywhere. Every part of the school is different. You know, you go to one corner, it looks like that. You go to the other corner, it looks like that. You walk down one hallway, this is different from the other side of the hallway. It's just kind of weird.
See, my school looks the exact same from everywhere. Oh yeah, so okay, so in drama class, we played hide and seek around the bottom floor, you know. So the rules were we aren't supposed to hide in the washroom, but we couldn't find anyone. So, so, so I was playing Marco Polo in the washroom.
Jeez.
Well, I just screamed out Polo, and the worst spot is that there was someone actually taking a piss, though, you
Jeez.
know. But like, then I just left. I'm usually not like that, but it's basically the last day of school. You
Yeah.
know, might as well have some fun.
Get energy those days. You know, it's
Yeah,
like every day of the year you don't care much, and you're the way I felt during the year is like I just didn't get in anything, didn't really care much throughout the year, just was there to get the day done. Although other people definitely can't say the same. I know I've told you some stories. I don't know how many times
yeah,
the cops have been to our school this year. I mean, there's
yeah. You used
literally I know it's an SRO. Like there is an SRO to our school, but he's not usually there. So there's usually other cops there for all sorts of reasons. I mean, we've been on lockdown multiple times for reasons we don't know. Um, I remember right at the end of the day, we're getting out of seventh hour, and they said we need everybody out of the building as quick as we possibly can, and nobody knew why. Um, and there was like six cops from the we had troopers and sheriffs and police. We had almost every local department there, just surrounding the entire thing. And the next day, I guess I don't know if it's rumor or true what happened, but I guess someone had a gun, so I just tried to get everybody out of there and get the person that did.
Yeah, like. around here, there was a shooting incident where someone brought a BB gun around the school, and the police didn't know that it was a BB gun because it looked real, and apparently they refused to drop it, so the guy got shot and killed.
I
You
mean,
know,
yeah, that's what can
yeah,
happen.
that
I
makes
mean,
sense. You know, it's like you,
everybody everybody judges the cops for it. They're like, well, he was just a kid. It was just a BB gun. I want everybody listening to go Google a Glock and then go Google a Glock BB gun. They're essentially the same thing.
but
I
yeah,
mean, they look the exact same. And think about it from a police officer's standpoint. You just got called to this with someone with a gun, right?
and the other thing is around the school.
Yeah, a school as well. So it's even a bigger deal. And a lot of people, it's hard to tell them. I mean, up close you can tell the difference, but from far away and when they're waving it around, you can't really tell.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Um,
this also happened a few days after the Texas thing.
yeah.
You
So
know,
they're even more on the edge. So you have to think about it. You go to this call that someone called that a student has a gun at a school, right? So you get there, you see it, and it looks like a gun. It's not like you can just tell them to stop and go up there and observe the gun real close. I mean, sometimes you can do that if they're compliant. They don't mean harm. But if they mean harm or they're crazy or trying to look cool or whatever, then they're not like that.
yeah,
They act like it's a gun, so they're gonna get treated like it's a gun. If they start pointing it at them and not complying, that's what's gonna happen.
and some people would say like in this instant it wasn't a student, it was just a random grown man, I think it was.
See, that's even
But
worse.
yeah, I know. And like there was this incident where a cop shot a student, um, and people were arguing that of well no, it was a 14-year-old kid that they shot, and they said, how can't you tell a 14-year-old kid from a adult? The 14-year-old kid was 6'2". He had the build.
Well,
You know, that kind of doesn't look like a kid.
you know,
It's like,
in your teenage years, you're usually forming into an adult, and that can
yeah,
happen at different speeds. I mean, I know some people that are 11 that literally look like they're 24. Beard,
yeah,
drinking, everything, right? And it also depends on how you like make yourself look. Like,
yeah. Like if you have a gun in,
well, it's not what I was
in
going to, but
your, yeah, but if you have a gun in public, people are probably gonna assume that you're over the gun age in whatever. I don't know what the gun age is in America, but people are gonna assume that you are around that age.
yeah, they would assume, oh, they're an adult. They probably figured out a way to get a gun. Because in your head, I mean, just think about a way as a kid to get a gun other than going through an adult, right? You
Yeah,
probably bought it from some kid. It probably originated from an adult, right? Whether
yeah,
that's somebody at a gun store, whether that's, it probably originated from one. So you'd assume. And back to, you said they were 6'2". You said
yeah,
they had a beard, and I'm
yeah.
sure their body was formed and their face shaped quickly to where it looked like an adult. And I mean, think about it: 16 compared to an adult. Um, I mean, even 20. There's not usually that much of a difference,
Yeah,
but it all
you know,
depends on the
like
person.
you know, like um, yeah, like where I am, shootings are happening every day. Like like a gun control is a thing that can't be properly done, I guess, because as long the guns out there, gun control isn't really, you know, possible. I guess, you know, um, so like shootings are gonna happen. Shootings will happen. It's just the hope that they won't happen. You know.
I think a big part of why the world is where it's at is because a lot of I think there were a lot of kids that were raised too loosely. They weren't really disciplined much. I mean,
Oh yeah,
just
especially nowadays.
look at all the kids by look at all the crimes by kids, right? And then they're usually repeat offenders. And
Oh yeah,
it's only every once in a while that you see that their parents care. Usually the parents don't. And
it's sad
usually
to see.
and the cops usually honestly can't do much. It's all left up to the court system, and they
yeah,
really can't do much either.
it's like a few weeks ago, someone shot a firework at a cop, and they were temporarily blind. It's like I'm hoping they, well, the parents obviously don't care, but at the same time, kind of hoping the child is not being as charged as child, because like you can't go out and shoot fireworks at a cop. I don't care how old you are. That's kind of common sense, though. You know.
Yeah, another big part of it is like the world, for one, the world has gone a lot against police, right?
Oh
The
yeah.
world has really, really, really changed to where everybody appreciated police, everybody, relied on them and noticed what they did. And, if cops were intimidating, cops were, I don't really know a better way to describe it than I just
Distrust,
did.
distrustful.
Yeah, they were the power, kind of.
Yeah.
Where now people look at them as servants. Like, hey, I own you. That's not how that works.
Yeah. It's like, okay, cops are people. People are gonna mess up. People are gonna do things. People are gonna do people things. You know.
Yeah.
Um. It's like, there is like 100,000, 700,000 cops in America. Because if one messes up, doesn't mean all of them will do the same thing. You know.
Yeah, you shouldn't
Like
judge a person by, how they
anything.
look, or you really need to know the person to judge them. I mean, even not, you shouldn't even judge someone on your first interaction with them. Maybe give it a few chances instead of just bam.
Yeah. Like something I've noticed is like if you compare things now to like a long time ago, people are really not that strict anymore. Like even in Canada, apparently they pass a law will there's no minimum sentence. And now let me get this correct. It was now being drunk is an excuse for assault and sexual assault.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's not good. So they are definitely not being as strict as they are or as they should be. Even like in schools, like when my parents were in school, they had no weed in school, they had no drugs. But now when I went to Canada's Wonderland, the first sign I saw was no smoking, no pot. The first thing I smelled was pot, you know?
Yeah. Back to like comparing cops to then and now.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Back then, if you were a kid and you got pulled out of school by a cop, and they'd probably put you in the back of the car, put you in handcuffs and whatnot, really intimidate you and scare you. Where now, if a cop did that, they'd honestly probably get fired because the chief wouldn't want that look on their department.
And
Because
cops have
everybody would
done that.
freak out.
Yeah,
So,
and
it's just the society is going crazy.
uh, uh, like people like something that I don't get about society nowadays is that they talk about how freedom of speech, then if someone expresses their opinion, they lose their career over law about it.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
I also don't think people realize how much of a process it is to be cop. It's not like you can just go. It's not like McDonald's. Not like you can go, fill out a fairly simple application, go through a pretty simple interview, and all of a sudden you're there, and then
yeah,
they
and
show
it's a
you
lot
around.
of work
It's a lot. I mean,
and
a
very
lot, a
expensive
lot.
too.
Exactly. You know,
It's like it's not like um they just it's not like when someone becomes a cop, it costs the city a lot of money for training, for cars, for equipment. No, it's like even files like for a fireproof suit, full suit, it's like seven, $8,000.
Yeah, it's also not like you wake up one day and you're like, "Hey, I want to be a cop," or it's not like it's not like that's usually your last resort. Like once again, McDonald's. Maybe that's the only business in your area. It's not like you're forced to be there. It's not like um, they just woke up one day and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a police officer." You have to actually get it in your head, and it's a lot to think about. Of if you really want to be a cop. I mean, there's so many things you have to think about.
I
You
will
know,
say there probably are people who do join the force for the wrong reason,
there
but
are.
I say majority are because they want to help and protect the community. Like the thing is like there is 350 million people in America. Like there will be like not like there will be people who don't, I guess, meet expectations, who don't agree with standards, and some of them will be cops. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if I said made sense, but
No, I
um
mean, I understood it.
yeah, like if those, like it's kind of like YouTube comments. The more people you have, the more positive things you'll get, but also the more hate you'll get. You know,
Yeah.
if there's more people, the higher chance of stuff not being good happens. I guess. You know, but you know, um, yeah. Oh yeah. Now let's change the topic a bit.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking about. So,
Eh,
let's talk about electric
Games.
cars
Oh,
versus
electric cars. Okay.
electric cars versus gas
Yeah.
cars. Right.
Okay.
Now,
You start, Spencer.
now I have a lot of biased things to say about it, but I also have a lot of factual things to say about it because I have done
Yeah.
a decent amount of research, I'd like to say. So your electric car may not run on gasoline, right? But think about all of the moving parts in it and think about the battery, right? And then
Lithium is
yes. And then think
like
about a lot of people don't think about it, but think about your phone, right? Think about if you were to just stab your battery, right? Now, I don't know about most places, but I know around here we have a lot of bad roads, we have a lot of potholes, we have a lot of rocks, right?
same here.
So,
Yeah.
if you're driving down the road, and I know they have protective stuff under it, but it's usually plastic. Cars are majority plastic now,
Oh yeah.
especially electric cars. They're big into plastic. Um,
Which is bad for the environment.
that too. I mean, even just burning plastic is bad in general.
Bad for you. Wait, actually, I think a lot of electric cars are made out of some sort of metal. I don't think it's plastic in some of
Well, think
them.
about the bumper on a car. Think about the interior. Think about the steering wheel. Think about the undercarriage. Think about the hubcaps.
That's true. But a lot of it is metal, which melts after a while.
Yeah, a lot of it is. A lot of the base is, but a lot of what you see is plastic.
Oh yeah, also the thing about the cars is like you mine lithium. Lithium is gonna use a ton of gas to mine. It's gonna use a lot of land to mine that you can't use. It's gonna destroy habitats. But I guess in the long run, it could technically help the environment if there's enough people with the electric cars. I guess.
Yeah, but they
You know?
also make the prices for a decent electric car. They make them pretty high.
Oh yeah.
I
Like
mean, well, here's another thing to bring up, right? So a lot of people are like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go buy this really expensive, nice Tesla, right? And I'm gonna do good for the environment." But I just bought this new iPhone that uses 5G. Okay,
yeah.
well, do you know how strong 5G actually is? Do you know how much harm it can actually do to you?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about 5G.
I don't know a lot either, but I know I've seen a lot of people getting sick around it and getting cancer from it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Like radiations. Radiation is something that we all live around, though. You know,
Yeah, I mean, it's come to the
like
point. I mean, you're literally watching this on internet right now.
oh yeah, which is radiation, which little amount of radiation is not bad. You know, like your internet's not bad. But let's say if you go to like uh a radioactive place, you're dead.
Oh
But
yeah. I mean, just look up radioactive destroyed cities. Like,
oh yeah,
I've seen a video of a city where um a city was literally completely demolished and destroyed, and so many people died
I
due to just radio waves.
I think that's in Ukraine.
I don't know if it was Ukraine. It was a smaller town that it was a long time ago that I watched it, but I know it happens somewhat
Oh yeah.
decent amount.
Um, but like talking about cars too. Like okay, like gas powered cars are great. I like them, but they do leave a bit of a carbon footprint, and also gas is like $2 a liter.
Yeah,
It's just
seriously. Um, I mean, I can say personally that a lot of fun for me this year has been ruined due to just simply gas prices. Like things I used to do in the summer and stuff like that simply is ruined to gas prices.
yeah.
Gas
It's like
prices.
me and my dad used to have a Mustang GT, but we traded it in for a Mustang Mach-E, which is a fully electric car, which we don't have yet.
And they're ugly.
Okay, I don't think they look too bad,
I
you
would
know.
much rather have a Mustang GT look than a Mach-E look.
Oh yeah, same. I think anyone would. But yeah,
Except for
honestly,
carrying down the street.
Karen down the street, Karen's stuff, people. Yeah,
Um, so just think about the amount of think about the amount of moving parts in a electric vehicle. We'll start there, right? And
yeah,
think about how much oil has to be in each part to for one to last there. Because think about it, most people don't think to go oil up their wheel bearings, do they?
no,
Okay, so they have to have some sort of oil that's gonna last for a while, and that and think about there's usually four wheels on a car, and then this is just wheels, and think about how many cars there are
yeah,
times four. So and then think about oil factories. I mean, me personally, a few years ago, in a pipe on an oil factory was not shut all the way, and it caused a ginormous explosion in the city neighboring to me that I could literally see from my window. And that entire city over there had to evacuate, and I almost had to evacuate. Like, it was really close.
that's just unfortunate. Also, it's
Yeah, I know.
almost 11 o'clock your time. So we should probably wrap this up.
What's a good
Um,
ending topic that's fairly quick?
oh yeah, and episode 2 will happen eventually.
It should be soon, fairly soon.
Oh yeah, hopefully, because this was a blast.
It was
Um,
fun, yeah, to get our
oh
ideas
yeah,
out and everything.
thank you, Spencer. Thank you, myself, for being here. You know, and please hit that subscribe button.